Thanks for joining us. My name's James from Livestorm. Today we're going to be taking a look at how you can configure OBS as a virtual stream and input that stream into your Livestorm event room. So you may have used OBS before. If not, we'll explain what it is here today, and then we'll go through a little demo and show how you can set that up on OBS and how you can put that into your Livestorm event room. So what is OBS? Open Broadcaster Software. It's free open source software that you can use to enhance your video recording and live streaming. Because it's open source, there are many different plugins or third-party solutions that might benefit you in a niche way. There might be something that you need for your video stream that you can use open source, and then you can plug that into Livestorm with the virtual stream. At Livestorm, we also have an RTMP option, so you can plug OBS into Livestorm that way. In this video, we're going to focus on the virtual camera setting. So if you do want to read more about the RTMP setting, the link is below in this community article. Some of the benefits of using OBS, it is cross-platform, so Windows, Mac, Linux, everybody is catered for if you're using OBS. And of course with Livestorm, because we're in the browser, it is also cross-platform as well. So it's available for everybody. It allows for high-quality video input with various formats and settings. Users can create scenes with multiple sources of webcams and screens, game captures, images, texts, you name it, there's a plugin for it that will cater for your needs. You can use OBS for filters, effects, transitions, plugins. It supports third-party plugins to expand the functionality of OBS. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look here. So I'm actually using OBS right now. So the software that I use to record this video doesn't have a virtual background setting. So I can give myself a virtual background for the purpose of this video in OBS, and then I can put that virtual camera into the software that I'm recording this video on. So you could potentially do this on Livestorm, but of course in Livestorm you do have a virtual background anyway. So this is the OBS platform. As you can see here, there is scenes on the left and sources, and this is the main viewing window here. So as you can see, stop virtual camera. Now I have that running at the moment, so if I press that off, okay, now that stopped my virtual stream. And I'll turn that back on again, and of course my virtual stream starts working again. Now here you have scenes, so you can make various scenes. So in this case, this is my scene here, VB. Now you have sources here, you have camera and image. So these sources are layered on top of each other. Now if I press the I here for camera, I will disappear. So that's my camera stream. And if I press that back on, then my camera stream comes back again. Now image, sources and image. So if you click on this here, okay, now my background is gone. So if I click on camera and I go to filters, and this is background removal. So I'm going to show you that again. So on sources, camera, and there's two settings here. So this is for camera, properties, and filters. So for filters, I have a background removal and I have a chroma key in place for effect filters. Now I could add another effect filter here. I could go add, and I could go sharpen. So let's sharpen my video stream and see how that looks. Okay, now if we turn that right down, so that's 0. Let's turn that right up to max. So you can see there it sharpens my video setting. Now I might like to just turn that down, and if you go back down to 0, you can see the effect of it not being there. Now I might just slowly turn that up. Okay, already my video camera stream is looking a bit sharper because I've applied that setting. Let's add another one. So color correction. Okay, color correction. Now this will give me different settings. So I've got gamma. Okay, we can put that about there, maybe just a tiny bit more. Contrast. Okay, that's way too much. So we can turn that down. We can turn down the contrast, and we can see I'm a little bit brighter there. So you can already see how we're using OBS to manipulate the video stream here. And let's take a look at background removal tool. So this is threshold. Now that's my actual background. So this is my room, this is my office, and as you can see, it's a bit cluttered in the background, so we can just put that back, and that takes away the background. So that's the background removal tool. And let's just try this smoothness tool. So that doesn't look very good. So we want to boost that right up. And you might like to, okay, so that's too extreme. So if we move like that, yeah, we can see that that doesn't look very good at all. So we just want to use that setting just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And we can see just around the top of my head that has made that look a little bit better. So it has just taken away a little bit there without looking too extreme like it did when I turned it up to max. So it's always good to have a look at the various settings that you have here. Again, we can just have a play around with that. Sometimes it's good just to move around a little bit and see the effect that it might have. And there's also some settings here that might be useful. So as I said before, my background is a little bit cluttered. So instead of a virtual background, maybe you would like to just blur something like this, just to take away a little bit from the background. But in my case, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to have the blur background setting as 0. So now that we've had a look at the filters on the camera, let's put my virtual background back, and you can see how that background removal, so I've used the camera, and inside the camera, inside the filters, I've used the background removal tool, and I've taken away my background, and I've replaced it with the image here. So as I mentioned before, everything's layered on top of each other. So if I say order, move the background to the top, okay, now I disappear because the background is on the top. So we actually want to have the background order move to bottom. Okay, there we go, so I'm back. Now let's try something else. So let's take a look at the image this time. Now we can go to the filters for the image, and we can see here again, there's the sharpen plugin. Now this is the picture that we use. This is a very nice image, and I'm sure we don't need to sharpen that because it is a professional image. But as you can see, if you turn that down, if you just look there at the ferns behind me, if I turn that up to max, it does apply that sharpen setting. So that just highlights how you can turn these effect filters onto any layer of your OBS setting. So let's go here, let's try another one. So let's again put color correction. So let's say I'm not happy with the contrast to my background image. Now I can turn that up or I can turn that down. So maybe I'd like to just fade that into the background a little bit than what it currently is. And you can also do a few different things here, and you can add some brightness. You can play around with it however you like, just to make it perfect. I did like it how it was before, so there's really not much that I need to do here with this image because it has already been processed as it is a professional image. So in that case, I can just go back down here to defaults. If you do get lost with the settings, you do have this default setting here, and that will just turn it back to normal. So now we're back to normal. So if you do get lost and you've turned something up too much and you don't know what you've done, you always have defaults to go back on. So next we're going to take a look at how you can add text or a logo to your OBS stream. So this could be handy if you wanted to add a logo or anything you could think of that involves text or an image to your camera stream. So in sources, go add, image, okay, now browse. Now you can add any image here, and that's going to add it as a layer on your OBS camera stream. So as we can see here, I've added the Livestorm logo. Now I'm going to drag that down here, or I could drag it up the top here. Now one thing to note here is there is the mirror effect which can happen. So I'm going to show you how you can flip the text if needed. So to give you an example of this, on the right here, this is the recording software I'm using. So I'm putting the OBS stream into this software, and as you can see, the Livestorm name and logo is backwards. So this is the mirror effect. I'm going to leave a link to an article at the bottom here of this community post, and you can read all about the mirror effect and how that works in Livestorm. So this is a great example of it. In OBS, I have the logo around the right way, but in my stream, in my recording software, it's flipped around the wrong way. And the same thing happens in Livestorm. So make sure you check it before you go live and do a test run. So to flip that around in OBS, all I do is right click on the image, transform, and flip horizontally. So now you can see that it's flipped it in OBS, but at the destination in my recording software, it has come out the right way. So for this video, I would do that. And if you are using Livestorm, it is recommended to check that, and you will need to flip it as well. Now you can resize that. Maybe that's too big. Maybe just like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that looks good. So I have that Livestorm logo and Livestorm at the top of my stream. You can do the same for your company and your logo. So let's take a look at another example. So I'm going to hide that one and add a new one. So add, image, okay. The same process as before, browse, and here's one that I've prepared earlier. So this is with my name. I made an image, so this is an image I've made, and I'm going to go, okay, so just as a demo. Now the same thing, I can drag that around anywhere on the screen. I can right click, transform, flip horizontally, and it shows the right way. So I've designed this one really to be down the bottom. So I'd like to put it maybe just here. Maybe I want that to go across the entire bottom of the screen like that. Alternatively, I could place it at the top, drag it down here and just put it like that. So whatever logo or banner you have designed, you can add that there, and you can edit the size and the placement of the logo to wherever you like. So one last example, let's hide that. Just quickly again, sources plus image. I'm going to go OK. Just a bit of a fun novelty one, just to highlight the flexibility that it does give you. OK, Livestorm event is live. And I'll place that just down the bottom. So again, I'm going to need to flip it. So right click, transform, flip horizontally. That's just a fun novelty, just like a live news coverage, and I can have that on my stream. So I am using OBS as a virtual camera for this video. So as you can see, here is the setting, stop virtual camera. This is where the setting is to start your virtual camera and to stop your virtual camera. At the moment it's running. So if it wasn't running, that would say start virtual camera. So you can start it there. It's in exactly that place there. So if I click on stop, that will go to start. So once you're happy with your stream, so here we are, I'm happy with this. I've got the virtual background. I've customized some of the settings. I've tested the text, but then I decided I didn't want it. So I'm happy with this now. So now I want to use this stream. So it's started already. So start virtual camera. So let's go into Livestorm and take a look at how we can use this in Livestorm. So I want to have it on event 4. So I'm back here in my dashboard. I'm in Livestorm. I click on access room. Okay, so before we enter our Livestorm event room, we can see here from the list of video sources that the OBS virtual camera is running, and it is available here in Livestorm because all of your available cameras in this browser will be shown in this list. So because I have OBS virtual camera running, that is available here. So I can select that. So as a test, I usually select FaceTime HD camera. So that shows, there you go, that's just my regular camera showing, but I want to use the virtual background for this event. So OBS virtual camera, and we can see it jumps in and it puts the OBS virtual camera setting there with the virtual background and the other adjustments I've used. So I've used sharpen, and I've made some minor adjustments to the lighting and to the contrast. And then join stage. And fantastic, there we have it. So we're ready to start our event and we have our virtual camera. So now I'm ready to start my event and I have my OBS virtual stream coming into Livestorm, and I can make some adjustments using plugins or settings in OBS. Now, if you are interested in OBS, I'm going to drop the link here below in the community article. So again, it is available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And please note that you have the forum option here and you have download here. So you can download OBS Studio, or you can head into the forum and take a look at some of the plugins that are available from the community. It's quite exciting. There are quite a lot of different tools that you can use. There might be something specific to your needs that you might like to use. So thanks for tuning in today. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or if you need any assistance in setting this up, please reach out to us. We can't wait to hear from you. Thank you. Have a nice day.